When we found out about Karen's diagnosis of ALS, it was an abrupt turn in our life. The rawness of it was Karen's going to die, and she's going to battle for her breath and life each day along the way here. You know, it's going to be a mental struggle, a spiritual struggle. The physical struggle is going to be real as well, but the rawness of it is we're going to lose her. ALS is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, quite often understood or known more as Lou Gehrig's disease. And what it does is it's a neurological disease, and the brain stops communicating with the muscles, and so what happens is you get muscle atrophy in your extremities. You'll notice muscle loss in your extremities, hands, so on and so on, and so you'll lose your ability to walk, talk, but it's also your involuntary muscles, so your heart, your lungs, your digestive system stop working as well. So eventually you lose the ability to breathe, and so it always ends with death. There's approximately 3,000 to 3,500 people at any given time that are diagnosed with ALS each year in Canada. Of that, statistically, 50% of those people will die within the first 2 years. 2 to 5 years is a statistical life expectancy with ALS. Some go longer, and some are quite a bit shorter as well. Karen was 13 months from diagnosis to her passing. ALS is not known to be a hereditary disease, but less than 5% of people that get it carry the gene that makes it hereditary. There's nothing you can do to prevent ALS. There's no amount of carrots or jumping jacks or sit-ups or miles you can walk. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen. Statistically, though, it supports it. If you carry the gene, there's a 50% chance that if a parent has it, there's a 50% chance that your children will have it as well. Yeah, so as we move on, the further we get from Karen's passing, it doesn't go away. You know, ALS and maybe any disease that claims a life stays with you forever. For us, the lingering part of ALS is the gene, and you know, that's my biggest fear at night when you know, you wake up and my mind goes to my kids and the decisions that they have to make. You know, this disease isn't going to leave us. It's here. And it can become overwhelming at times. We have another family member, it would be a cousin to Karen, that has been diagnosed with the disease, and so we've talked a bit, and you wonder how you can help this person, and yet you feel compelled to be part of it. It's really draining. It's emotional because you know the outcome already. You know, you just don't know the time frame, but here's another family that is going to have to say goodbye to an individual, and in a really horrible way. So it, you know, again, it's part of our life. Well, the biggest thing we need to achieve is, like so many others, is we need to crack the code. The medical community needs to crack the code of ALS, and through our experience with working with ALS through Calgary, is they really feel they're 20 to 25 years away from cracking the code, and they support it with real theory, but it takes money. It isn't going to happen without money, so that You know, so often it feels like you're just raising money that goes into a giant vacuum, and where does this go? And you're thankful and people want to give. But that really is the cure here. We need to crack the code of ALS to, first of all, allow people to live with it. And then from then, can medicine be provided to extend life beyond that, right? So Karen's Purple Shirt Party was really initially started out as a way of healing for our family. 1 year after she had passed away, we decided to have an event to honor her. It quickly turned into an idea of creating a fundraiser out of it. So we needed an identity of who we were, and Karen's favorite color was purple. She was a very casual girl. T-shirts were really a part of Karen's wardrobe. And purple happens to be ALS awareness color as well. And out of the mouth of our third boy, Jared, came, let's call it Karen's Purple Shirt Party. And that was it. That's where it started. So the fundraiser came out of the need to have just a celebration, and ALS Society of Alberta was on board with us, and our ambition to raise money really was the need that the ALS Society of Alberta filled for us, and that was equipment. The access to things we couldn't even imagine that we were going to need, right down to a large-handled toothbrush or kitchen equipment that, you know, allowed Karen to stay in the kitchen as long as she wanted to wheelchairs, to man lifts, to even the possibility of a van that had a lift in it. As much as we want the research done, today, the equipment and that gave us the ability to leave the house and be as normal as we felt we could be at that point, that was the benefit of it. So we felt we were privileged enough to have equipment, but in some cases it isn't. You know, it just depends on the cycles of people that are using equipment. Do they have it? So let's make sure everybody has equipment. You can find out more about Karen's Purple Shirt Party on our Facebook page, Karen's Purple Shirt Party. It talks about the event of Karen's Purple Shirt Party, links as well to events that are happening around the community. Possibly as we lead up to our own event, we have information on there to talk or to tell what we're doing at our event. But as well, you can link to the ALS Society of Alberta through our Facebook page, and you can donate online. Probably the fondest memories I have of us as a family having to go through this and watching Karen go through this was really no surprise at all. Her outlook was always the top half of the glass, and Karen quoted several times, ALS will not win this day. We are not going to change our life or routine because ALS wins. That never left her, even with, you know, her disease in front of her, right? She had a positive mind. She had a positive outlook on each day, and her smile, it never left. One of my favorite pictures of Karen is about 3 weeks before she passed. And I did, we always had a lot of flowers in the room, and I picked a petal off a tulip and I put it behind her ear, and she was defenseless to take it out because of her disease. But I took that picture of her, and the glint in her eye was as real as it ever was. For me, it really was about the spirit that was within her that wasn't going to be put out.